Life can feel overwhelming at times, can it? We make plans, chase dreams, and work tirelessly to make things happen. But when things don't go the way we expect, frustration takes over. We begin to worry, trying to fix what's beyond our control. But I want to remind you today, there is a greater hand at work behind the scenes, even when you can't see it. Not everything in life will happen according to your schedule or expectations. There will be moments when things seem delayed, doors remain shut, and plans don't unfold the way you imagined. In those times, it's easy to get frustrated, question everything, or feel like you're falling behind. But trust that what looks like a delay is often preparation. Every season serves a purpose. Some seasons teach patience, others develop strength, and some are designed to clear the way for something even better than what you originally planned. When you force things to happen outside of their time, you often end up with unnecessary stress and disappointment. But when you trust that everything happens exactly when it should, you open yourself to the beauty of the process. What feels like waiting is often growth. A seed doesn't sprout the moment it's planted, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening beneath the surface. Trust in divine timing means believing that the things meant for you will come not too early, not too late, but precisely at the right moment. It's having faith that the right doors will open, the right connections will appear, and the right answers will come when you're ready to receive them. Timing isn't just about events lining up, it's about you becoming the person you need to be for what's ahead. Your responsibility isn't to rush the process, but to remain faithful, knowing that everything is working according to a plan greater than your own. Letting go doesn't mean you've failed or given up. Surrender is an act of wisdom, recognizing that some battles aren't meant to be fought by your strength alone. It's understanding that there are things beyond your control, things that only God can handle. Many people confuse surrender with weakness, thinking it's a sign of defeat, but true surrender requires strength. It takes faith to release your grip and trust that God will work things out in ways you couldn't imagine. When you surrender, you're not saying, I quit, you're saying, I trust. You're shifting from trying to manipulate outcomes to allowing divine guidance to take the lead. There's freedom in knowing you don't have to figure everything out or force results. You do your part. And where your strength ends, God's begins. Surrender is about partnership. It's not passive, but active, aligning your heart with faith, continuing to move forward and releasing fear along the way. It's realizing that your victory doesn't come from striving, but from resting in the assurance that God is working behind the scenes. When you surrender, you open yourself to new solutions and opportunities that you may not have seen while trying to control everything. True surrender isn't about giving up hope. It's about letting go of the pressure to make things happen by your own efforts. And in that release, you find peace. Life will bring storms, moments of uncertainty, loss, and challenges that shake your foundation. These storms can leave you feeling anxious, overwhelmed, and out of control. Yet, peace isn't the absence of trouble, it's the presence of trust. Peace comes when you understand that storms are a part of life, but they are not the end of your story. In the midst of chaos, peace is a choice to rest in the knowledge that you are not alone. It's believing that even though the winds are howling and the waves are rising, there is a greater hand guiding you through. This peace doesn't come from perfect circumstances. It comes from knowing that nothing can separate you from God's care, even when everything around you feels like it's falling apart. When you have peace in the storm, you stop fighting battles you were never meant to fight. Instead of panicking, you learn to be still. It's in that stillness where clarity emerges and you begin to see that the storm has a purpose. Storms refine you, strengthen your faith, and teach you to rely on something greater than yourself. They remind you that control is an illusion, but trust is a lifeline. Peace in the storm doesn't mean you pretend everything is okay. It means you acknowledge the difficulties, but refuse to let fear dictate your actions. It's knowing that the storm will pass, and when it does, you'll emerge stronger, wiser, and more grounded in your faith. Peace is the quiet assurance that no matter how fierce the storm, you are held by a presence that cannot be shaken. It's easy to feel like you have to manage everything, your problems, your future, your relationships, even the things that are beyond your control. You take on burdens that were never meant for you, and over time they weigh down your spirit, drain your energy, and steal your joy. But you were not designed to carry every burden. Trying to do so only leads to exhaustion, anxiety, and frustration. Life was never meant to be lived as a solo effort. There are things only God can handle. And part of living by faith is recognizing when it's time to let go. Carrying burdens that don't belong to you won't bring you closer to a solution. It will only make you feel trapped in worry and fear. Some struggles are meant to be handed over, not carried indefinitely. It's not your job to have all the answers or to fix every problem sometimes. The greatest act of faith is simply saying, I can't do this alone. There is strength in surrendering what is too heavy for you. It's not a sign of weakness to release those burdens. It's an acknowledgement that you are human. Letting go allows room for peace to flow in, for clarity to emerge, and for divine help to step in where your strength ends. You have a role to play in life, but it's not to carry every weight on your shoulders. When you learn to release those burdens into God's hands, you make space for grace to carry you forward. Some burdens are meant to teach you dependence, reminding you that you were never meant to figure everything out by yourself. You are not less because you choose to let go. You are wise. Wisdom is knowing when to fight and when to rest, when to take action and when to release control. You were created to live with joy, not to be crushed under the pressure of carrying things that don't belong to you. Let go of what you cannot change and trust that it will be handled by the one who is greater than your circumstances. Patience is not just about waiting, it's about how you wait. It's easy to be patient when everything is going smoothly, but real patience is tested when life doesn't go as planned, when answers are delayed, and when the outcome you hope for seems out of reach. In those moments, patience teaches you to trust beyond what you can see. It reminds you that just because you don't see progress doesn't mean nothing is happening. Every season of waiting serves a purpose. Patience stretches your faith, helping you rely not on what you know, but on the assurance that things are working in ways you cannot yet understand. Faith isn't built in moments of certainty. It's built in those in-between seasons when you have to believe without seeing. Patience gives you the strength to walk through those seasons without losing hope. When you're patient, you let go of the urge to rush the process. Rushing often leads to mistakes or settling for less than what was intended for you. Patience, however, aligns you with God's timing, which is always perfect. It teaches you that what's meant for you won't pass you by, no matter how long it takes to arrive. Patience also shifts your focus from the destination to the journey. It's in the waiting that you grow, learn, and become the person you need to be for what's ahead. Each step you take in patience builds your faith, because you begin to see that life isn't just about receiving answers, but about becoming stronger, wiser, and more grounded in trust. Faith without patience is fragile. It crumbles under pressure. But faith built with patience is resilient. It grows stronger in delay and remains steady even when life feels uncertain. Patience is what transforms waiting from a burden into an opportunity for growth, teaching you that the timing may be out of your control, but your trust never has to waver. There are moments in life when things don't go the way we hoped or expected. The plans we carefully crafted may fall apart, and what seems certain can slip through our fingers. In those times, it's easy to feel frustrated, questioning why things didn't work out the way we wanted. But what if the disappointment is a sign that there's something greater at work, something beyond what we can see? Our perspective is limited. We plan based on what we know today, but God's plans take into account not just where we are now, but where we need to be in the future. Sometimes what we desire isn't what's best for us, and what we thought was a setback might be the very thing positioning us for something better. There are doors we wish would open, but if they're not part of the bigger picture, they will remain closed to protect us from what we aren't ready for or don't need. When things don't make sense, faith calls us to trust that the bigger plan is still unfolding. Just because you can't see the whole picture now doesn't mean there isn't one. God's plans often work in ways that challenge our understanding, but they always have purpose. You may feel delayed, but you are not denied. You may experience loss, but it could be making room for something greater. When you align yourself with divine purpose, you begin to realize that even the detours are part of the journey. Sometimes we hold on to our own plans so tightly that we miss the opportunity to receive something better. Letting go of what we think should happen makes space for what's truly meant to happen. God's plans are not always predictable, but they are always good. Trusting in those plans means being willing to release your expectations and follow where He leads, even when the path takes unexpected turns. And in time, you'll look back and see how every twist and turn was necessary to bring you to exactly where you needed to be. What you thought was a disruption was actually preparation. What you saw as a loss was making way for a greater gain. Life is filled with unexpected twists and turns, and setbacks are an inevitable part of the journey. Whether it's a failed project, a lost opportunity, or a personal challenge, these moments can feel discouraging and heavy. However, it's essential to understand that every setback carries a purpose, even if that purpose isn't immediately clear. When you encounter obstacles, it's easy to view them as failures or signs that you're on the wrong path. But often, setbacks are simply stepping stones toward growth and transformation. They serve as reminders that life doesn't always unfold as planned, and sometimes the most profound lessons come from moments of struggle. Each setback has the potential to teach you resilience, patience, and adaptability. In the face of adversity, you are forced to dig deeper, to reassess your goals, and to find new ways of moving forward. This process of reflection can illuminate areas of your life that need attention or improvement. It can spark creativity and innovation, pushing you to explore paths you might not have considered otherwise. Setbacks can serve as catalysts for change, driving you toward greater self-awareness and strength. Moreover, setbacks often bring clarity. When things don't go as expected, you may discover that your original goals need adjustment. Sometimes the universe has a way of redirecting you to align more closely with your true purpose. What may initially feel like a roadblock can turn out to be a necessary detour, leading you to opportunities that better suit your journey. It's also essential to recognize that every setback can build character. The trials you face shape you into a more resilient and empathetic person. They teach you to appreciate the victories even more, giving you a deeper understanding of success and fulfillment. The most successful individuals often have a history of overcoming setbacks, using those experiences as fuel for their ambition. So the next time you face a setback, take a moment to pause and reflect. Instead of viewing it solely as a failure, ask yourself what you can learn from the experience. Trust that there is a purpose at play, even if it remains hidden for now. Embrace the journey, knowing that every setback is a part of your story and contributes to the greater narrative of your life. In the end, you may find that the setbacks were not just obstacles, but essential lessons propelling you toward your true destiny. Surrendering can feel counterintuitive, especially in a world that prizes independence and control. We are often taught to fight for what we want, to hustle and strive, believing that success comes from sheer willpower and relentless effort. Yet true freedom arises when you let go of the need to control every aspect of your life. Surrender is not about giving up, it's about giving over. It's the recognition that some things are beyond your grasp, and that peace comes when you release those burdens to a higher power. When you choose to surrender, you are choosing to trust. This trust allows you to step back from the chaos and uncertainty, knowing that you are held by something greater than yourself. Instead of being weighed down by worries about the future or regrets from the past, surrender invites you to live in the present moment. You begin to realize that the weight of your struggles can be lifted when you allow God to carry them for you. Freedom through surrender means letting go of fear and anxiety. When you cling tightly to your plans and desires, you create a sense of pressure that can lead to burnout and disappointment. But when you open your hands and hearts to possibilities, you invite new opportunities and solutions into your life. This act of letting go can be incredibly liberating. It allows you to stop fighting battles that don't serve you and instead align with the flow of life. Surrender also fosters resilience. When things don't go your way, rather than feeling defeated, you can find strength in knowing that every setback is an opportunity for growth. You learn to adapt, to trust the process, and to see challenges as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. This shift in mindset allows you to move forward with courage and confidence, unburdened by the weight of expectations. Moreover, surrender opens you up to a life filled with grace. When you stop trying to control every outcome, you become more receptive to the gifts that life offers. You may find joy in unexpected places or discover that what you truly need was waiting for you all along. Surrender allows you to experience the beauty of spontaneity and the richness of life as it unfolds, rather than how you envisioned it would. Ultimately, freedom comes with surrender when you learn that life is not just about achieving goals, but about enjoying the journey. It's about being present, finding peace amid chaos, and recognizing that your worth is not tied to your achievements. When you surrender, you embrace the truth that you are part of a larger story, one that is woven together by divine purpose and love. This realization brings a profound sense of freedom, freedom from fear, freedom from worry, and freedom to fully embrace who you are meant to be. In a fast-paced world where instant gratification is the norm, it can be challenging to accept that not everything requires an immediate answer. We often feel pressured to have solutions ready at a moment's notice, whether it's regarding our personal lives, careers, or relationships. However, the reality is that some questions don't have answers that come easily, and that's perfectly okay. Embracing this uncertainty is part of the journey of life. When we confront challenges or dilemmas, the urge to find a quick resolution can lead to hasty decisions that may not serve our best interests. The truth is, life is rarely black and white. Many situations are complex and layered, requiring time for reflection and understanding. Accepting that some questions remain unanswered can liberate you from the burden of anxiety and allow you to explore your thoughts and feelings more deeply. This period of uncertainty is often where growth occurs. When you're not rushing to find answers, you give yourself the space to discover new perspectives, learn valuable lessons, and develop resilience. It's in the waiting that clarity can emerge. Just as a seed takes time to sprout and grow, so too does your understanding of life's complexities. Patience is key. It teaches you to trust the process and be open to the unfolding of your life's narrative. Moreover, not having all the answers right away can foster creativity and curiosity. It encourages you to ask deeper questions, explore different avenues, and seek out diverse experiences. This exploration can lead to breakthroughs and insights that you might have missed if you were too focused on finding immediate solutions. Embracing uncertainty can spark innovation, pushing you to think outside the box and approach challenges with fresh eyes. This idea extends to relationships as well. In our interactions with others, we may seek immediate resolution to conflicts or misunderstandings. However, some discussions require time to develop and mature. Allowing space for dialogue, reflection, and emotional processing can strengthen bonds and lead to more meaningful connections. When you don't feel the pressure to resolve everything instantly, you create a more compassionate environment where everyone involved can feel heard and understood. It's important to remember that life is a journey and answers often come at their own pace. Some questions may take years to resolve, while others may never be fully answered. Embracing the mystery and uncertainty of life can deepen your faith and encourage you to trust in the journey itself. You begin to understand that the value lies not in having all the answers, but in the richness of the experience, the lessons learned, and the growth achieved along the way. This perspective allows you to navigate life with greater ease and confidence, knowing that you are not defined by your questions, but rather by your willingness to engage with life's complexities. Faith and fear cannot coexist. They are like two opposing forces, each vying for control over your thoughts, actions, and ultimately your life. When you choose faith, you embrace a mindset of trust and hope, while fear seeks to anchor you in doubt and insecurity. To cultivate true faith, you must actively let go of fear, recognizing that it has no place in a life dedicated to believing in a higher purpose and greater possibilities. Letting go of fear doesn't mean you won't experience it. Rather, it means choosing not to let it dictate your actions or define your reality. Fear often arises from the unknown, the uncertainty of what lies ahead. It can be paralyzing, causing you to second guess yourself, avoid risks, and miss out on opportunities. But faith invites you to step into the unknown with confidence, trusting that whatever happens, you will be supported and guided. Faith empowers you to confront fear head on. When you acknowledge your fears without allowing them to overwhelm you, you create space for courage to emerge. Courage isn't the absence of fear, it's the determination to move forward in spite of it. It's about recognizing that fear is a natural human response, but choosing to rise above it. This process may require vulnerability as you acknowledge your feelings but refuse to be controlled by them. Letting go of fear also involves a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing challenges as threats, you can choose to see them as opportunities for growth. Every obstacle becomes a chance to strengthen your faith and resilience. When you confront your fears, you often find that they are not as formidable as they seem.